What's up, guys? Bachman here again with a different video. The last video was the part 2 of the race mower hybrid build. I'm gonna have to put that on hold for a little bit. My welder is giving me all kinds of trouble. I think I have to do some wiring and get a new liner for the gun on that. So the race mower over here is gonna be put on the back burner for a while. Christmas is in 2 days. I've just been running rampant with shit. So I'm just going to walk you through a little bit of what I've been doing lately. This is a Honda GX160 motor that I built for my nephew's go-kart. That was supposed to be done for Christmas, but unfortunately they're not going to have it for Christmas. It sucks, but you know, my brother and I's schedule, we were building it for them. We just don't have the utilities to build their cart right now, including the welder. That's the main thing. But what I've done to it is I made a exhaust for it. This is a baffled exhaust. A piece of square tubing goes up through the entire thing. There's a variety of holes drilled through it, and then that was fitted into the original header. These welds look like dog shit. That's because they came from the welder that is running like dog shit. So that's to be expected. I painted the valve cover red. On camera it looks orange. I don't know why. It has a stage 1 performance kit from Go Power Sports. Actually, this is from BMI Karts, but it's basically the same thing. It's a 2-stage air filter with an air filter adapter, a 38 main jet, the choke hold down, and the gaskets that came with it. It's got a new exhaust gasket and a high performance head gasket, which just allows for bigger compression. Has a 30 series torque converter, which I was very displeased with because this entire guard was busted to shit when I got it, and from the place I ordered it from there was no returns, so I couldn't return it, so I fixed it the best I could. This portion is going to be cut out anyways due to the sprocket and chain having to come through there to go to the rear axle. But yeah, I basically went through this entire thing and rebuilt it. I took 2 junk 160s and made one good 160 Honda out of it. The only new part inside of there is the rings and the gasket on the side cover, and that's it. And then a head gasket. But yeah, that's basically bone stock other than a governor delete and the stage 1 kit. This little motor right here is a Honda G150. I put the 150 on there to remind myself, but right there is where you can see it says G150, 144 cubic centimeters. This is kind of my own little project thing. I think I'm going to put it on a scooter of some sort. The only thing that's going to be interesting is I have to use the pulley that it came with for this shaft, because if you can tell, right there is where the crankshaft's supposed to come out, and here's where it does come out. It's because it's a 2-piece crankshaft setup. This piece right here is the output shaft, but it's also the camshaft. The piece that goes across is the crankshaft, and then it is connected in the middle with a chain. And it's kind of inconvenient, but it's a 2-to-1 ratio. There's 2 rotations of the crankshaft to 1 rotation of the PTO. So as of gear ratio, I have no idea what I'm going to do. And I broke the dipstick. It was a casted aluminum dipstick type thing. I went to tighten it back up because I deleted the governor right there with that bolt. I had to remove it, so when I put it back in, I gave it a little bit too much torque, and I broke it. So I'm going to have to get one of the basic little caps like it has on this side, which I think I can get on eBay for like $2 or $3, which isn't bad, so it was just kind of inconvenient. Other than that, I removed all the heat shields and stuff on it. The top heat shield for this motor is not necessary due to the fact that this is a snow blower engine, and a lot of the times these motors were used on other things other than snow blowers, and they did not have the heat shield on the top, so I figured I let it open. It looks a little better. I might do something with those tabs over there to mount a gas tank. I'm going to run a CRF 70 carburetor on it because I'm going to put it on a scooter of some sort. The original carbs kind of work like shit without the governors. So considering I deleted the governor, I'm not going to need that carburetor. I just pulled the annoying studs out of it, so I'm going to build a flange that comes off of there that I can adapt a carburetor to. I built a very short exhaust system up there with the same dog shit welder I was using on this exhaust. I'll step over here. I kept the original heat shield on it. I cut it and kind of bent it around where I welded here. And this is the exit. There's a variety of 1/4-inch holes, and in the center is a 5/16 hole. And then the top was a washer I capped off. So yeah, that'll be kind of interesting looking. And this thing should run pretty good. The reason I got it, my buddy Brad gave me a snowblower that had this engine in it. Engine was in good shape. The rest of the snowblower was in okay shape, but it needed a little bit of work, and it wasn't really worth my time. So I scrapped the rest of it, saved the motor. He said that it didn't have spark, it needed points. This is a point system motor. It has a single breaker point, and it's right next to the coil underneath the flywheel. It has a funky looking flywheel, but the main problem is this right here. You can kind of see it wiggling. It pulls off, and if you put it back on, you can hear it has a very weak connection up here. So this is the problem of spark. I'm not exactly sure on how I'm going to fix it yet, but I'm going to have to put a new boot or a new connector, because that connector in there is worn. So I'm going to have to make one or see about purchasing one, and I got to get the right spark plug for it. That's not the right one. I just have one slapped in there. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. The shop is an absolute freaking mess. I have shit everywhere. I'm working on a lawnmower for somebody else that I had purchased because I'm going to sell it to them. I purchased that motor for $50 over there. It's an 8.5 horse Briggs & Stratton industrial cast iron motor from a rear engine rider. I'm going to have to adapt that into this 70 series John Deere that I purchased for my buddy, and then I'm going to install that and then sell it to him for a set price of I have no idea yet. So that's just kind of what I've been up to. A little update here. Sorry, what's the word I'm looking for? The race mower hybrid is going to be on the back burner for a while. I probably won't even get to it until spring, so sorry for getting everybody's hopes up if you really wanted to see that. I will probably put a video up when I build the motor. I can build the motor, and then I can just set the motor up in on my shelf somewhere up there if I have room, or I might leave it in my bedroom so it stays nice and fresh. I got to order a bolt kit for the cases and everything. I'm going to clean up all the parts, make sure everything's ready for assembly, and then see if I can have somebody help me out with filming, so that way I can actually assemble the engine and show you guys how that is done. But I'm going to cut this video off here. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of messing around and whatever. No, I'm not really a Honda fanboy, but I like their lawnmower engines and their little horizontal shaft engines. They're pretty cool. They're nice to work on. They're all metric, so they're really easy. So I enjoyed doing it. But all right, guys, that's it for this one. Thanks. Have a nice day and Merry Christmas.